Hello, today we're going to take a look at a simple integration between Movicon SCADA and HMI software and a Beckhoff CX5020 PLC. We're going to get started by creating a new project. Go up to the File and select New. With the Movicon editor, you can create scalable applications from embedded to enterprise systems. For this demonstration, we're going to use Windows Standard 32 and 64-bit. Start by giving the project a name. All the properties in this wizard are available to us after we create our project, so I'm going to just skip through here, and we could always adjust these afterwards. Once the wizard's finished, you'll see that in the Project Explorer, you'll see all the parts and pieces that make up your application. You can see alarms, screens, scripts, and so on. We're going to start here under Real-Time Tag Database with the COM drivers. If we right-click here and say Add New COM Driver, dialog window will come up here. That'll let us take a look at all the native drivers built into Movicon. We're going to select Beckhoff and the ADS TwinCat driver. Once the driver's in the project, you can double-click on it to start to configure properties of the driver as well as stations. So we can look at the general tab for properties and stations. And we want to actually add a new station. So we're going to hit Add. So we need the AMS net ID to communicate with this device. So we're going to just jump over to System Manager. This device happens to be based on version 2, but the driver also works with version 3. So I'm going to copy this AMS net ID and put it into my property on my driver, and then give my station a unique name. Once that's done, we can actually test our communications if the PLC is on the network by pressing the Test Cable COM button. You can see we succeeded. Once that's done, we can actually start creating some tags and variables that we can connect through the driver to the PLC so we can see values and data. With the TwinCat integration, we've got a very simple and powerful tool that allows us to import tags directly from a project file or from the PLC. So if we right-click on TwinCat and select Import from PLC Database. You can use the Browse file to browse for an EXP or TPY file. We're going to actually, since the PLC is on the network, get PLC tags. So we can see here we've got some tags that are available, and we're just going to select these inputs for now. We can always come back to this importer later if we wanted to bring in more tags, but we're just going to take a look at these inputs for now. So once those tags are imported into Movicon, we can see that we imported input 1 through 8. If we take a look at the properties, we can see their bits, and they're connected through the TwinCat driver to the address space IN1 through 8. So now that we've got some variables, we can actually start working with some screens, put some objects on the screen as well. So we're going to add a new screen, and we're going to leave the default name here, Screen 1. I'm going to resize it just a little bit for this presentation just so we can see the whole thing while we're editing, but you could develop for very large screen resolutions. Maybe adjust the background image, give it a little style right away. Okay. So now that I've got a screen set up, I'm going to put some objects on there to control those tags that we brought in. I'm going to use this selector B. And then I'm going to go and pick the tags that I would like to also connect. So I'm going to select all 8 tags because I want to create 8 switches. Just drag and drop that onto the screen, very easy. And the Distribute Object Space dialog will appear. I'm going to set these up for 2 columns and tighten up the spacing between and hit Apply. Okay, so that looks good. We'll put those on the screen, move them around a little bit here. I also would like to display my actual PLC so we can see what's happening with the output card I/O when we're adjusting these switches. So in our objects toolbox, and we've got this item called an IP camera viewer. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen. I'm going to adjust the size a little bit, just to make it a little larger for our demonstration. And I have to define the IP camera URL. So I've got this set up, and I'm just going to paste this in here. So this is the IP address where the camera is located. Just a quick look, we've got a very easy, simple PLC program, ladder program configured with some inputs that control some outputs. So I and 1 are going to be controlled from the HMI screen. So we'll go ahead and start the project by pressing the green Run button up here, and we're going to save our changes. So let Movicon runtime start up here. And right away we can see the image of the Beckhoff PLC coming through on the IP camera that we've got set up in our office here. If I start to manipulate these switches, you can actually see the outputs turn on. So I've got all 8 on and all 8 outputs. So that concludes this presentation. I think you'll agree that with the integration between Movicon, SCADA, and HMI software and the Beckhoff PLC is very, very simple and intuitive. You can check out these great features and other capabilities of Movicon at www.progea.us. Thank you.